Chickajay this Sunday at 7 a.m. for Sweaty Sundays with the Burn team. Be prepared because it's peace. See you on
One, two, three, let's go!
Yes. So we are inside. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. It's the morning show. Yes. And we're talking about vaccination. We're talking about mandates. We're talking about the economy. It's a real thing to talk about this morning. Mike, you okay?
I don't know what
Mike,
you're trying to do.
this is the morning show. We are not in what you're cooking right now. Morning show. Serious business.
Hey, where that flag come from? Where my flag?
I don't know, you didn't put it.
Morning, everybody. How was all the evening? How was all the night?
It was good.
Not Giselle.
Well
We're not talking about
rested.
Giselle. We know what went on with Giselle. Forget Giselle. We talk about Abby. We talking about... Who's that there?
Where?
In a
Yes,
car?
that is Vanessa.
Oh, hi, Vanessa. You going to market? Okay.
She's
nice.
going to work.
I'm a girl, Riri. Morning, everybody. Morning, Lion. Take it away, Cheek.
Yes, so this morning people, it have been a lot of things that happened during the week, right? And we have something to start off with. Lion, go press the button.
Who's that way? Mike. That's that way.
Well, you always calling my name when you're in confusion.
Mike,
so...
I realize in this COVID-19 people like to kneel up.
What?
Hallelujah. Father God, we give thanks and we give you praise. Yes, Lord. For this is the day that you have made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in. Yes, Lord. God, your word said the arm of flesh has failed us. God, we look towards you, yes, Lord, the author and finisher of our faith. Yes. God, you are above all men. And God, we call upon you, God, and we look in the hands of men, God, yes, who have ruled over us, God. Yes, Father, even right now, God, cause them, God, God, to intervene in our situation, yes, because God, all of them have failed us. Yes. And Father, we thank you right now, God. It says, once we call upon your name, we shall be saved. And God, we thank you right now, God, yes, because your word said that Jesus Christ came to give life.
Yes. Yeah, Lion, you have to press the button on the next one.
Listen, let me
Right
ask you a
after.
question.
Uh-huh.
They're blaming God for everything.
They did not blame God. They are calling upon God to
Right.
intervene.
Okay, so they're calling God to intervene. So
Yes.
one to the pastors and the priests and the reverends and them.
No, they are not God, Mike.
You understand what I'm going on? Because
Mike, it's about...
Make asphalt workers rich. Chairman of the board, Christopher John Williams, we rich. Roger Wilkins, CEO of the company, we rich. Stephen McClashy, ex-director, current Minister of Labour, MP for Labre, selected on a 3-man subcommittee to look after the affairs of asphalt. All you win. All you win. We rich, we on we knee, and we begging. Pay we salary, please. What we gonna do again? Pay we salary, please. All you call we essential. All you bring we out. Let me talk calm, because I'm begging. I can't beg hard, I don't beg soft. All you bring we out during a pandemic. All you tell us work. Since May, June, all you pay we this week, all you pay we next week. It moved from bad to worse. We begging. Pay we with salaries, please. 5 weeks. persons who working hourly, weekly, persons who are to be paid every week. 5 weeks now they have not been paid Trinidad and Tobago. The junior staff who are paid monthly on or before the 24th of every month. They weren't paid in the month of August, no pay. So the last pay was July. They weren't paid in the month of September, which should have been the 24th. And today's what? They are not paid. You know what, by Trinidad and Tobago? 2 weeks ago, we went to the board of directors. In a board meeting, Zoom meeting. This gentleman here, vice chairman of the hourly weekly. This gentleman here, president general of contractors and general workers trade union. And the directors said to us, they have no money to pay. They are waiting on a subvention from the government. And we said, well, why are we working? They said, no, we have to work to get paid. So we've been working. The board of directors now, the CEO now, they are complaining that the government staying too long to release the subvention so we can be paid. Because they're ashamed to say they bust the business. They don't want to tell Trinidad and Tobago asphalt bust. So it's a charade. And we suffering during the charade. We are asking Prime Minister Rowley if you could use your office, please, to ensure that we at Lake Asphalt, who worked for our monies already, that we be paid.
Yes, you understand, Mike?
I know,
He
you're
was-
just pulling a leg, I know. But what the hell they were kneeling down for? What's the purpose
Well,
of
that's
the
what they-
kneeling? What's the,
But
no,
that's
what is the
that's what
purpose?
that's what they choose to do, Mike. Some people believe in kneeling, some people believe in standing. Everybody pray in a different way.
No. When you kneel and subject yourself like that, what message is that you're sending to the authorities?
He said he's
That they're under pressure, begging.
They're under pressure, they're
He's
begging,
begging on
obviously.
bended knees.
So us men had to start kneeling down then. Like Coffee and I, Shulan and I had to start kneeling down.
Children are kneeling nowhere.
But
Wait there.
He
this
ain't
is something
kneeling.
that has been happening. It's just that it busts now. What you see going on there with that asphalt situation, that is something
After Mike
that
did?
is in making, you know.
He asking if he and you need to kneel, so I tell him you don't kneel.
Rasta is broken, you see.
I don't kneel neither. Sorry.
That's what it is. And I think we're supposed to realize now financial health is very important when coming to COVID-19 because clearly, month, 2 months, 3 months. So now when people are doing their finances, they should say that they should have at least 6 months in reserve emergency fund so that when things happen, they could still float because
Yep.
plenty of us, you know, as they say they're waiting a month or however long. It have people have been waiting for longer than that. Have people who are here 2
Yes.
years and things. So I mean,
Yes.
everybody have their own situations. Mike, what do you think about the asphalt workers scenario?
No, well, that's what I'm saying. I know that the situation has been
Yeah.
in the air for a long time. And it's not just asphalt. And you're correct what you just said.
Yeah.
When you reach in a situation like that, and especially in companies like that that make billions, somewhere along the line you must have reserves somewhere to pay your workers. So you can't come and tell them now.
Right, I talking personally,
no
Mike,
money?
because it's not good that you see, depending on a company, you're selling yourself, right? Talking like your personal financial health, your personal finance.
Or you're talking about a backup
Yes.
something
Your
in case
personal
something.
finance.
Yes,
Right,
your
You know what I
personal.
mean? Because
yeah.
a company can
Financial-
always say they have no money and they're bankrupt.
Financial independence.
Yeah. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
just like how the woman and them yesterday only wanted the checks and money. That way we talking about. Yeah, so just tie in with everything.
So, they touch a doctor with spreading misinformation, Mike.
No,
So the whole list doctor here
I
in
don't
a
watch
scene.
news, so you know, enjoy that.
Yeah, so we let go in this video at all too.
Yeah, it's
Because
chocolate,
we try to touch it quickly there because
They will
hot
take it
girl
down.
up there, I know when she gonna jump out there because birthday weekend.
Who?
So
Cesar.
you know, with this doctor that's spreading misinformation. as
This
it
one,
progressed.
this one
Birthing
here.
TV, man.
The
This
first
one
day
here,
the
this one.
pandemic began, a family physician is facing restrictions accused by Ontario's medical regulator of spreading misinformation about vaccines and other public health measures. Tonight, the allegations and why one infectious disease expert says the consequences are too little, too late.
Just showing conflict between doctors, even if it's 10,000 to 1, that provides a lot of impetus for someone trying to choose. Who do I believe? Do I believe science or do I believe Facebook?
The physician in question is Patrick Phillips. He has a family practice in Northern Ontario and describes himself on social media as a small-town doctor and lover of freedom. Many of the allegations are linked to his Twitter account, which has close to 40,000 followers. The College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario accuses Phillips of making misleading, inaccurate, or inflammatory statements about vaccines, treatments, and public health measures. And as of midnight, the doctor has been barred from giving out mask and vaccine exemptions and is banned from prescribing certain medications for the treatment of COVID-19, including the anti-parasitic medicine ivermectin. Toronto epidemiologist Colin Furness tells City News he believes there should be harsher consequences and more enforcement when it comes to doctors and misinformation.
I have submitted more than one complaint myself based on observations of physicians in the community, sometimes on Twitter opposing vaccination and so on and so forth. It doesn't feel like the college responds very strongly. That's a mistake in my view. That's a gigantic mistake. Any doctor who makes a public statement opposing vaccination, in my estimation, should be suspended.
Patrick Phillips is the first doctor that's been referred to the disciplinary tribunal for pandemic-related concerns. And according to the college, Dr. Kulvinder Kargil, a GTA physician, has been cautioned 3 times this year for her tweets about public health measures. The college also posted a statement on its website regarding the spread of misinformation, saying that doctors hold a unique level of trust with the public and that the information shared must not be misleading or deceptive and must be supported by available evidence and science.
It takes only a tiny number, a very tiny number, to suddenly stand up and oppose vaccination, to propose cocktails of their own, to go off label with medication, in some cases maybe not even approved for human use. And it doesn't take many of them to really invigorate and energize a fringe group.
Now, we did reach out to Phillips on his social media accounts, but did not hear back. He did, however, address the allegations in a tweet, writing, "Never have I been more proud of myself than the day I decided to take a stand against our country's medical tyranny." And the college also claims that Phillips has refused to cooperate with their investigation. A disciplinary hearing will be held at some point. At this time, though, no date has been set.
So you'll see that now the doctor, he can't still Abby get her exemption from wearing mask there. That doctor can't write that no more. Mask exemption,
It's a good
the
thing.
vaccine.
Canada, my exemption.
Yeah. Yeah,
some
people.
soft.
So we
Sorry.
have to be careful.
I just want to say, I mean, I find it's a bit blown out of the water, where there's different type of physicians that believe different type of things about the human body. What could work, what might work, what will work, science is that. But what about the herbalists, the herb that they claim would prove that they can, solve all this mystery about the human body. And then there's the other scientists that believe that their cocktails that they brew in the lab is better than the herbs. So they would say, oh, the herbalist there is quack. They believe us. Doctors would know what is good for their clients. And if a doctor believes that, or don't take this should work better, then why pull him contempt his job? That's just my point.
Right now, that doctor, he is it seems like he's an anti-vaxxer. So he gladly, take the opportunity to provide persons with exemptions from taking the vaccine and even mask wearing as well, give an exemption for that. You see, he said he spoke about freedom, and he has no regrets in doing what he did and saying what he said. Yeah, and you see, he's not cooperating. And he find that, it's unfair. He believes in that, the human rights and people should have that choice. So if it is somebody who just wants an exemption for whatever reason, he's going to give it to them. And that's why they now prevent him from giving any exemption.
Sorry, that. So Mike, I'll be crazy child. And with the next crazy kid.
Who's crazy child?
The next
Who's
crazy
crazy child?
kid somewhere around. Yeah, the crazy kid. I had a little discussion with Mike, but I know we always talking some kind of craziness before. And I said that when we're looking at different industries that opening up now, we forgot a lot of the industries that used to assist in people going to work and all that sort of thing. And you see something like daycare. Daycare has been overlooked in Trinidad because we so focused on other things, right? And the children that are under 13, and I was making some, me, I always predicting something, right? I always make a prediction. And the children under 13, remember now they're saying that in order to work in certain places, you have to be vaccinated. That's what is the norm now. The Virgin Islands, they fire some of the nurses and that kind of thing because they didn't want to take the vaccination. We saw that already, right? And now, as places opening up, daycare holds such a foundation in that scenario. So think about the children who have to be dropped off to allow parents to go to work in the daycare. These children now would have to be vaccinated. And remember, they say it's 13. So, without further ado, let's see it on Burning TV. You know what I mean? Yeah, we wonder. Let all you know that under 13, they're coming for you too.
Pfizer is one step closer to getting its COVID-19 vaccine approved for emergency use in children age 5 to 11 in the U.S., where it's now submitted trial data to the American Food and Drug Administration. The drug maker says the vaccine is safe and effective and triggered a robust antibody response in the age group studied in a trial involving nearly 2,300 participants. The children were given 2 smaller doses of the vaccine than the shots given to those 12 and older. Pfizer revealing Tuesday there are plans to submit a formal request for emergency use authorization in the U.S. in the coming weeks. While kids are less susceptible to severe disease, they can spread the coronavirus to others, including vulnerable populations. And now, with school in full swing, the American Academy of Pediatrics warns the number of new child COVID cases is exceptionally high. They say since the pandemic began, children represented 16% of total cumulated cases in the U.S. But last week, children were 26.7% of reported weekly COVID-19 cases, even though children under 18 make up 22% of the U.S. population.
We can talk about the safety and the efficacy of the vaccine, which I think is going to be just fine, but I think that this will have a significant impact on the epidemic and really help create safer schools, safer communities when it's unrolled.
Canadian reaction from Dr. Isaac Bogosh on Breakfast Television Tuesday. Now already, Toronto Public Health announced Monday it's getting ready to vaccinate children between 5 and 11, pending approval for the age group by Health Canada.
We know that the company is providing all the data to the regulatory agencies like Health Canada, who will either give it the thumbs up or the thumbs down. I think it's likely that this will be approved in Canada probably in the latter part of 2021 and maybe at the latest, the early part of 2022.
Now, Pfizer confirms they are planning to seek emergency use authorization for 5 to 11-year-olds in a host of countries, including Canada. Justin Trudeau was asked about the approval process Tuesday. Here's some of what he had to say.
I'm one of those parents of a 7-year-old who wants his kids to get vaccinated as quickly as possible, and that's certainly what we're looking for. But science and rigorous analysis will, as it always has, guide our decisions on that.
Health Canada telling City News they haven't received a submission from Pfizer just yet when it comes to kids under 12, but they are expecting new data in the coming months. Melissa Duggan, City News.
All the way from Hyderabad. So I will be joining Chica J this Sunday at 7 a.m. for Sweaty Sundays with the Burn team. Be prepared because it's peace. See you all
One, two, three, let's go!
Yes.
Wow. So that
So-
what America do, every country follows.
Yes.
So
Yes.
hey,
So, it has some, I know there are some like parents who actually want that they can't be able to vaccinate their child under the age of 12. Yeah, some parents are, really looking forward to this. While of course we know that there are other parents who are not okay with it. Yeah. I mean, Joanne,
Yeah.
how you feeling? How you were like? Did you get vaccinated as yet? I know you were going, and then you had a little scenario.
I had a little reaction, but I haven't had it yet now.
Right, I remember that. I remember the same day supposed to go and get it.
Yeah, I had
You got the
a
allergic
allergic,
reaction.
Yep.
Yeah.
I haven't
So,
vaccinated my son yet either. I'm not vaccinating him.
Don't take it on.
Okay.
Don't take it on him. Remember, it's the bear and the news, you know. And the nice thing about it is every time we discuss something, we see the trends happening. Whether you go kicking and screaming, whether you like it or you don't like it, government is going to do what governments have done for the past 500 years. Right? When they come in your country and they didn't accept whatever they chop off your hand. It don't change. It don't change. Chica, what's your view?
Yeah.
You turn them.
I know that there are some parents who are open, parents who are willing, parents who are hoping. Yes, some parents are hoping that they can have their, child or children vaccinated. So they are very much, looking forward to this. But of course, we know there are parents who, they are not looking forward to this. They are hoping that it would not be mandatory. But then the thing about it is when it is, a parent did say, when they say all persons who are going to the restaurants or to the cinemas need to be vaccinated, what about the child, their child that's unvaccinated, who are under the age of, who cannot be vaccinated at this point in time? What's going to happen?
Night care. This is an integral part of society. To allow parents' movements, to even working night shift, working early in the morning and have to drop off the kids. And a van picking them up and dropping them to school because of the time frame they have to start to move from. Daycare is important. Daycares make plenty money too. That is a very, very high income industry. People don't really see it as that, but children always being made. It will always have that market.
Yeah.
So that's the way it is. And
I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
I always know that it was coming, and then they go into the 5 and 0.
Kick it and feed it. Whether we like it or not. So
You did say the population of the entire world.
yeah.
So I was expecting it. Yeah.
So we know how Boris moving these days. We know how Biden moving. So if Boris and 2B boy, if Boris and Biden moving like that, And my partner who run in Beijing don't tell you can't even come in Beijing without a passport. That is China. So it's happening. And Abby, whether we quarrel or we complain, and it happening.
Probably need a couple more quarrel and campaign in more vast numbers in order to put a hole on it.
So we're going to show you guys what's happening in New York right now, because you know that's the epicenter of all the, New York, it's happening in New York, it's happening. So we're going to give all the attention what is taking place in New York at this point. New York City, the NY.
Well, Shep, many are on board, but some are still refusing. Tonight, we're in front of Bellevue Hospital. This is one of the oldest hospitals in New York City and part of the city's public health care system that says more than 90% of doctors and nurses have at least one dose and are in compliance with the state mandate that went into effect today. October 7th is the next big deadline. That is when staff at other medical facilities like home care, hospice, and adult care in New York State should receive at least that first dose. The Department of Labor says any workers who are terminated for refusing to get vaccinated are not eligible for unemployment insurance unless they have a medical exemption approved by a doctor. The CEO of New York City Health and Hospitals, the largest public health care system in the country, including Bellevue Hospital, says more than 95% of nurses and about 98% of doctors are vaccinated as of today. But about 5,000 employees out of a total of 43,000 are not vaccinated as of Monday morning.
Even today, we are not putting people on leave. If people are not vaccinated, they're not going to get paid for today. But we're keeping lines of communication open, and we're hoping that if not today, then by tomorrow, people will go and get vaccinated and resume their posts.
Northwell Health, the largest healthcare system in New York State, says they've seen nearly 100% compliance system-wide, though not everyone is happy to be a part of that statistic, and some are still refusing to get vaccinated.
We were forced to take the shot or resign. That was our choice.
And what did you choose?
I chose to get the COVID shot because I need my job.
I'm not taking that vaccine. It's more like it's either a paycheck or my rights.
And New York State Governor Kathy Hochul says there are plans to bring in healthcare workers from other states, if not other countries, if there is any sort of staffing shortage. And she says she won't hesitate to issue an emergency order that would bring in help from the National Guard.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC.
All the way from Hyderabad. So I will be joining Chika J this Sunday at 7 a.m. for Sweaty Sundays with the Burn team. Be prepared because it's peace. See you all
One, two, three, let's go!
So, you're not vaccinated, you don't have no leave, you do not get paid for that day. To make it real, they have no questions about it. Gariana.
I think the last person that spoke in the video, she was she was uneducated, because it's like, yes, you have your right, but these vaccines are going to get mandatory in time to come, and all jobs, you have to get vaccinated in order to work. So if you don't have your vaccine, you don't have a job. When you don't have a job, you don't get paid. So it's like, what the hell?
I wouldn't necessarily say that she's uneducated, but what about the persons who really would not be able to take the vaccine? I mean, it will have exemptions.
Mike, I study now. If they need any ward attendant in New York, they see if I can take a 6 months no pay leave and go and make our money.
6 months? You might want to come back.
I can run all this. Quick. See now.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to
Look,
come back.
listen, Mike. You know, I always make light of certain situation because we don't need to be this heavy. But
What
what
you
you
mean
say,
it's
right?
a happy topic?
What I'm saying, Abby, these people in the United States, them never go without a week of food in their life. Them never hungry, you know. That is why people them to say, no, look, I go and see wait how they wait, New York State. I go and see in that roof or that and that. I go take a 6 month no pay leave from work. Run out there, cut it up,
You
come
ain't
back
gonna
with
come back.
another side.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna come back.
Wait me, yeah, go make thing go be sweet over there. When I go across it. Yeah, I go check the dollars there.
Look, Chico
Yeah.
face. Look, Chico
Cheeks, what we saying?
I ain't saying not one thing.
I just want to know if before this vaccine came out and the
Have you
doctors
been
and the health stuff, right?
left wing?
Wait,
Have you
wait.
been designated left wing?
No, I just stating. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not. Okay, right.
Yeah, that is still, you know it's love in the house.
These,
Man. Do you think?
all right. These people work without vaccination while they was making it
But
for almost 6 months to a year, probably. They PPE up and they end up COVID free because they protected themselves properly. And if they decide, all right, I don't want it because I see that I can protect myself with the PPE.
right.
So if I continue to protect myself like that, then I'm not going to take the vaccine. They went through the worst part of the pandemic last year.
True.
If they decide not to take it, but you put things in place for people who don't want to take it. Well, if you don't want to take the vaccine, PPE, 6-7 masks on your face, whatever, even though if you had to make it uncomfortable for them, still put.
You know what? You're not the prime minister, you're not the president, because you would have killed people 7 months.
Yeah, wear 6 masks and 7 masks.
I'm just saying, Poochie said 3
You
and
can't
4.
breathe on 1 mask. You can't breathe on 1 mask.
Some people they want 1 million themselves, they'll shoot you.
You're not sure they're gone down. You're not sure
They
they're
want
gone
one,
down.
I don't want one on my face. I don't want one. They will get themselves.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they protected themselves without the vaccine for so long, and they decided that they don't want the vaccine, then they should keep on wearing the mask. And
I would
everybody
say
else
this
who
is very
vaccinated don't.
interesting because remember, government is not there to care. Government is there to govern. And Mike, I don't know if you had any kind of military training or any kind of scenario, but it goes with your commander. Your commander is not there to care about your life. Your commander is there to win the war. And
what war?
Exactly. You listen to how they're speaking. To them is a war. You know? To them is a war against the virus.
Yeah.
And because we speaking from personal. We speaking from a personal stand. Think about every soldier that died in World War I and II. It wasn't, if it was personal, they would not have no war. Because they'd say, look how much had to die. You understand what I'm saying? Think about it like that. They didn't, the casualty, they just monitoring the casualties of the war, you know. Whether it be from the virus, from whatever, from comorbidities, they just measuring the casualties. We talking from a personal perspective. They're not. That is why they're making the decision they need to make. They don't really care about what you think personally. They're looking at the overall picture. If they don't do whatever it is they're doing, remember money had to run people home. Where is the sense you're home and vaccinated and you're broken? It will have an artist still. Once you can't get paid, it's still going to have bacchanal because then your neighbor will watch where you have in Wabi. When your neighbor not working and you working, your neighbor will not watch where you have. So regardless personal view on the vaccination, it wouldn't matter with the overall picture. Because no police are coming outside your house to stand guard, you know. They'll stand guard in front of the White House. When the state troopers and them deploy, They're protecting the parliament and the government. They ain't deploying to protect the citizens.
No.
So when we think, when we think real carefully, the people in government see, regardless if have an uprising, Abby, whether the uprising is for mandatory vaccination or not, whether it's because people have no jobs, if it have an uprising, it's the people and them going and feel it, not nobody in government.
No, exactly.
Going and protect all the government state own scenarios. And it will be we to catch from the rioters and the loot. Rioters and the looters coming inside your house too. They just rioting and looting JC Penney and Nike, you know. Because them seeing you going to work. Them going and time you on the 1st and the 15th. If you get pay on the 1st, if you get pay on the 15th, they get pay on the 24th. And they will time you when you're going by that cash register. They'll time you when you're going by the ATM. That is what they do. Because to me, anybody in government, they're safe. They're safe. If it have riot, if it have uprising, if people start to loot, if people start to thief from people, they could dress back.
Yeah.
Is this population going and feel it, you know? So all who pro or against, we have to look at the big picture. Should we riot? It wouldn't make no sense. We build a pain. The system is now as it is. And it's very uncomfortable, but that's how it is. Mike?
Very, very uncomfortable.
Mike, so now, 13 and under, they come in. And the same way they say, if you're not vaccinated, you can't enter, they're going and do that for the children too. So don't feel the family going and sit down in no restaurant and eat together.
and that is why they're making sure that the 5 to 11 they're doing that. So
that is exactly. Remember we talk about this. Remember we talk about the mandate.
Remember,
they tell me no.
Cinemas going to open, restaurants going to open, and parents will want to take the kids there on a weekend. And now that will be unfair.
That's going to stay over and cook.
Yeah.
And everybody stay over and cook, stay over and cook.
And still, man, watch a movie on TV.
Watch a movie on TV, don't watch no cinema. Watch a movie by a big screen. That is all. Stay over and cook.
I'm for Netflix.
Yes, I
now, if you have no money, if it is it can't work, you have no money, you can't have no Netflix.
You can't pay for Netflix and you can't buy no flat screen.
They got yourself
exactly.
Well, then you could buy Lion, then they could buy the $5 DVD on the corner.
And you can't even buy digestive.
They don't have that. They can't even buy that. They have a DVD player. You know,
hey, and digestive is $5. And Kiss bread rate.
You can't buy Vitaloop for Vitaloop got up. Kiss got up.
Wait, digestive, that's the biscuit. $5.
Yeah, the chocolate.
$5 for digestive.
It have some places selling it $3, some places selling it $5.
$5 for
yeah.
digestive.
$5.
I remember.
Hey,
you know there's the digestive in the red pack.
Mr. Khan have the kiss cake for £1.
This is my suggestion. No, if you want to eat a digestive, you buy the red pack digestive. You buy a Bobby, you melt the Bobby with all the nuts. You throw it on the digestive and you eat it.
You know what I say, right?
No. We ain't going through all that.
We ain't going through all that. We have to melt chocolate and put on digestive.
Jason, hear this, right? You live in the UK. We live Trinidad, right?
First of all, just go eat it. Just go eat it. That's all.
Okay. That's one of my favorite snacks.
So Chica, let them know what going on this Saturday evening and what you're cooking. I hope you're not here for what you're cooking.
Hello, excuse.
I hope you're
Saturday,
here
not
for
Saturday.
what you're cooking before you're ducking because Jason warrior right now. I know Jason go be on. Every time for what you're cooking, you're disappearing.
That's the lineman time. That's the lineman time. That's when she get ready to head out.
No, I'm on what you're cooking. I'm there. I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah, you can't go nowhere today because you have to be in order for tomorrow morning.
Pigtail,
Mike, what is your personal view on this 13 and under vaccine? I quite common. I remember we just surely going on.
Well, under 12. Under 12.
I won't be doing it, sorry.
No comment.
I agree, Mike.
I will be giving my
No
kids this.
comment.
No comment.
Or you know,
All
it's
the
my comment.
crazy parents, because I think that's something that's
I'm not.
good.
Listen, let me tell you
but
something. I'm not a crazy parent.
you
My
have to be
kids
very,
is
you have to be
16.
very careful.
Listen,
What?
right? Listen, right? This is
Just now.
wait, Mike. Mike,
No,
wait.
One at a time, people.
You have to be
Now
very
listen to
careful.
this.
You have to be very careful.
Yes, we
Remember,
understand that,
you're
Mike.
on.
But
Listen to me. You have not because you're in an environment that people getting vaccine and whatever. You have to be very careful, right? What you're saying. Remember, this is live show you're doing. So
Mike,
you
what you
have
have to
to just now. We
Mike, you make
understand where you're coming
sense.
from. I understand where you're coming from. But you have to be very careful. You're not perpetrating your belief onto others. So
that's not the point.
you have to be balanced. You have to be balanced. Everybody know
understand
what's
that.
going on. So you have to be
But
balanced.
Mike,
You have to be careful.
I
Right, so
understand that, but Mike, what you have to also understand, places are going to open back. Parents will want to take their children certain places. Then, as Sholan said, that daycares is something that is make a lot of money, and those are about parents that have to start back to work and have nobody to take care of their kids.
So
you see, what we need to understand, and as we talk in balance, what we need to understand when we want to balance the thing is that we're looking at the stresses that will be set us as citizens of whatever country we at this present moment. Because now it would be a liability. If your child is to be now placed in a daycare now, this is what is going to be placed as a safe zone now. In Trinidad now we have safe zones. So we're telling all you now that the safe zones will be the gyms, the restaurants. That is what our Prime Minister said. You know, we showed the clip of what he said, right? But the safe zones, the gyms and the restaurants and the cinemas and that other types would have to verify legally that their employees are vaccinated in order to operate, right? And that would be showing that vaccination card upon entering the establishment.
But do you
So,
know? Do you know in
wait,
Trinidad right now?
We're talking from what was said. I'm not talking from me. I'm talking from what was said. What I'm
was said.
saying now is that this is what is going to be placed upon the daycare as a safe zone. And now, in order for your child to even be cared for by a caregiver, they would be bound by law that the children present their vaccination card in order to take them. Irregardless of what we think or what we believe, this is the truth of the matter. Whether we like it, whether we don't like it. So people, we need to understand that it has nothing to do with what we like or what we believe or what we're trying to balance. It's what it is. You need to put on a seatbelt when you jump in a taxi, yeah? That is what's going on because that is what it is. Whether you like the seatbelt, whether they scratch you on your neck, that is part of what the law is. And this is no law. This has nothing to do with speculation anymore.
It's not law. It's not law.
But you can't go, Mike. The Prime Minister,
It's
the
not
Prime
law.
Minister said you cannot go into the cinema without presenting your vaccination card because for them to operate, we play the video. For them to operate, they need to verify that all the employees are vaccinated and the patrons coming in are vaccinated. I ain't talking out of my head. I talking with that is law. The Attorney General don't talk, you know.
All right. Let me tell you. Let me.
In order to get your license to operate now in COVID-19, in order to get your license as a safe zone, remember it's a sticker you're going to get, right? It's a sticker you're going to get to place on your business place. That is legal. That is legal. It is beyond no talk.
I think we gone forward so quick that we ain't
No,
understand.
that is legal. That is already what's going on from the 11th, you know, Mike.
I
From
know
the 11th
exactly.
of
Yeah,
October.
I know exactly what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. But
No,
what
when
I'm
we have
saying
gone
is,
far, that is
I'm
what it
saying
is. The business will be issued. That is what the business will be issued a sticker stating that this place is a safe zone. That is a legal document from the government. So it is legal, Mike.
The Attorney General?
Mike, so what is going to take place right now? We are not in the parliament. We are not the one passing the bills and all these and amending anything, right? And they already, when they made that announcement of safe zones, they are in preparation of all the documents, all the legalities is being put in place so that if it is, they go into the establishment to follow up and they realize that the employees are not vaccinated, then the business will be in problems because if it is you're having patrons who are unvaccinated coming in or employees who are unvaccinated on the job site, they're going to say that they are putting the health and safety of the patrons at risk.
All right.
Yep.
Right? So we are not in a place making sure that they are writing, but because they have a week now to make sure that everything is in place. So I understand that you're saying is maybe nothing no because maybe nothing is on paper right now, but that is going to be on
but listen,
paper by Monday so that when that is roll out, Mike, that is it. It have no questions. That's why they let people know.
So
Now
let me
we're
ask a
seeing long
question.
lines for
Let me
people
ask a
getting
question.
to go for
Let me
their
ask a
vaccine
question.
because they ain't going through that.
Let me ask a question. Does the
Morning,
law of the
team.
Let me ask a question. Does the government of Trinidad and Tobago and all authorities respect the laws of the industrial court when it comes to workers?
Mike, so when it is they putting things in place, right? They understand the law and what industrial court says, right? So they will make sure that they have whatever plan they have in place and make sure that it coincides with what
So
the
is it
is because the law is not a law and by itself,
Yeah, but
is every
is it that is we are going against the world is going against human rights?
Mike is not. You see, when we use the word human rights, I realize that that is another word that we use loosely. And as I tell my students, with rights come responsibilities. So there are times when we need to make a responsible decision. Our decision must make sense. As the saying go, make it make sense. So we need to be responsible. Some children they wouldn't be the parents are responsible for them, so it will be their duty, their responsibility. So as I said, so even Loriana said what she said earlier, I am not here coming to tell no parent you have to vaccinate your child. That is your choice. Your child is your responsibility. You are responsible for yourself. So when it is we come to the health and safety and what, as the video would have said earlier, the children, they are not being affected as much by the COVID-19 virus, but they can be they can be the carriers. They can pass it on to someone else. So when it is they
Understand?
go out into
But
school, right?
how is children who supposed to be their immune system supposed to be as strong as to fight off any virus is being vaccinated? That's my question.
Mike, the thing about it is, as we all know, right? Whether it is a vaccinated or unvaccinated, they could still get the virus. But it's about preparing your immune system to identify it and get over it at a faster rate, or it might just be asymptomatic. So whether or not the child immune system could be good, they may not show any symptoms, but they can pass it on to someone who is more vulnerable. Persons who will get the virus and they will not be able to handle it as that child. That is what they are trying to prevent. So they might go and see their granny who may have comorbidities, right? And they pass it on to granny or grandpa. And then granny or grandpa see their grave earlier, right? But we know that there are persons who they may be unvaccinated and their immune system it just may fight it off, but they are really trying to prevent that. But we know Delta are wrong. Everything is Delta now, right? But it's just being responsible, right? We know
What
some
I
persons
try
will
to
not. Yes, go
yeah.
ahead, Abby. The man
What
like
I
that.
try to understand is the vaccinated are protected to the point where they will not die from this disease, right? They will still
Right.
catch it, a little thing here, a little thing
Mhm.
there. They might spread it, but the unvaccinated, as they say, will get the hard blow and eventually die from this thingy. So since the vaccinated is protected to the point that they will not die, and the unvaccinated gonna die if they catch this full-blown thingy, and they choose not to have this vaccine, that they put their own life at risk, how it's going to affect the ones that are vaccinated? That's my question.
I don't think they're looking at the persons who are vaccinated and how it will affect them, but how it will affect the individual themselves who are unvaccinated. Right? Yeah, the persons who are actually unvaccinated. It has nothing to do with the persons who are already vaccinated. It has to do everything, whether it is they made their choice. But as I said, everybody, so some persons may say they are denying persons their human rights in terms of making choices and all these different things. But the truth of the matter is, it have things that are not good for us, and we don't complain about consuming it. Right? That is a fact. It have things, people have unprotected sex. They know what sexually transmitted disease they're going to get. They had a one-night stand somewhere, and they think, nah, me, I want a vaccine. That go, but you don't know if it is when you go and do all the people who like the freaky stuff. The man tie a rope around your neck, and then you don't know what could happen. Right? So while it is we are saying that we understand all and well that they may not want to take the vaccine, but as I said, let us be responsible. And I will say that we know there are persons who will be really unable to take the vaccine at this time, and that is understandable. That's understandable. Right? We ain't saying everybody have to take it.
Well, look, sorry, that's not with the house. Abby, smile for me. Abby, smile. Abby, wait. Smile for me. Smile for the camera. Yeah, because I think we should have a little debate, boy. I like Bakanan. I find we should have a little COVID-19 debate, boy. I don't know who is this guy? Yeah, because everybody needs to vent. I realize people need to vent.
They will never have that kind of debate. Never.
I want to see a COVID-19 debate.
They will never have that.
I would
no,
like.
We could have it right here. So we have Trevor G right now.
I wonder who we could call, boy. We could call Trevor G. I could bring Trevor G, Mike Chica, all like that. This guy who was in the anti-vax protest and we got a doctor. I could call my sister. When she go jump, she might get back. Here I say, we had a girl debate going. Because everybody entitled to their opinion in a nice way and a fine, I think this tearing people apart. Because one of my partners, he vaccinated and the wife, not and the wife, and it causing
conflict.
That
so as we say later,
have, like with friends and wives and husbands and people who working together for years, and it's causing a kind of divide,
Yeah, but Sherlan.
Yeah.
I know we're going just now, but you see that there? That is totally wrong. Even if a husband vaccinated, the wife ain't vaccinated, it shouldn't cause...
It causing a rift. It causing a rift.
Why we saying it shouldn't? It has plenty things that shouldn't cause rift, because if it says we say we love, the word love that we were talking about, it have a lot of things that shouldn't cause rift or conflict or division or anything in any type of relationship, whether it's marital, working, but it is causing divide, unfortunately, but it is, and that's the reality of the situation.
And that should go into what we're talking about this afternoon. That would go into exactly what we're talking about this afternoon.
So this afternoon at 5:30 p.m., the effects of COVID-19 on the family. So it's definitely on the family. The topic today is conflict. Yeah, conflict. Trevor G. So Trevor G is asking if Burn Team is promoting fake vaccine. Right, Trevor G. But Trevor G, if it is, you listen very carefully.
We just allow people to have their own opinion.
Their own opinion.
But you have to love one another still. If we disagree, and our opinion knows, we could get rid of that and hug up after and we continue with life. That is how Caribbean people just do it. We cuss thing, tell you all kind of thing, and then take a little tip after and say, oh, sorry there. You know what I mean? If we learn to do that, if we learn to disagree totally and still be good. And I think that is what we need. We need to be able to disagree and still be normal as we move along with life. And Abby?
Yeah.
And then if you had to come across and make a mass, Boris will let me come there just too.
I know, but I will be there. Don't worry about it.
Abby, Boris will let me come across there just so you know.
Without it.
Yeah, this is how I come in there. How I come in. If I do like Abby, I say, nah, you're going to that. How I come in across this Fuzzy Bacana. Huh? Boris telling me, hey, doctor, no. Wait a minute. Big things. So, yeah.
See you at 11.
Around for what you're cooking, eh?
Yes, see you at 11.
I will be there.
What you're cooking is it continuing of last night?
I still love you, Riri.
Anything that can happen in what you're cooking. Anything can happen. Anything.
Abby and Jazan have to take the first hot seat question.
How much male people on this team love
Why
me?
you hot seat question?
I love
We have
you
to
more.
bring Trevor G on.
I love you more.
He seems to be,
Olia,
you know,
Nice.
so
bring-
sweet.
Where
we
does
need to
he
bring
see you?
Trevor
Can
on.
he see
We
you?
need to
Let's
bring
do
Trevor
this.
What you come and cause a Bacana?
We need to bring Trevor on.
Yeah.
It go be really cooking bacchanal on this live. Trevor,
What
wait for
like laughing
I'm not
about?
full up for 11 o'clock,
This
boy.
is the
Trevor, boy.
morning
I'm going to when I come off the
show.
line.
This is the morning show. This is not what you're cooking.
Now, Bacana, we go bring him on.
Rihanna, we are advertising the morning show right now. So we are inviting persons for the bacchanal because we just cook bacchanal at 11. That's what is really be cooking.
Yeah,
We'll see you all at 11. Yeah.
Good.
All the way from Faizabad. So I will be joining Chika J this Sunday at 7 a.m. for Sweaty Sundays with the Burn team. Be prepared because it's peace. See you all there.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
Burn Team TV is about merging online lives with basic unconventional raw nutrition services.
Yes, people, it's Sweaty Sunday, so let's get this workout in. You know, it's time to smile, sweat, and shine. Let's go.
Giving you that TV effect while streaming live.
Your man say he don't like me. I don't like that you just saw the thing something. He make your man follow me on IG. Motherfucker on follow that. No clue. But I still think about your Nike. I think about what it might be like if we link up. I know you have someone. I know, but I still wanna keep it and keep it a secret. I know you have somebody, but I still wanna